brother. Start cleaning those tires up. During this time, remember they fan out down there, so protect that bottom. Sunday drive. All right, boss man. These cars off. Be ready. Bud, be ready. Gas that bitch up. Ready. Green flag. Green.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Inside Pass. It's Monday night if you're listening to us on Race Chaser Online. If you're waiting for the WSIC broadcast, it's 6 days and some odd hours away. But it'll be on Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. I'm Randy Miller. Tom Baker sitting next to me. Peter Strada over in the Soman seat. Murdoch pushing buttons. And who the heck are you? And why are you in my studio?
I knew this was coming.
I could keep going.
Looks a lot like Noah Lewis.
Yeah, it might
Is
be.
he?
We have a whole hour. I could keep going. But
Jay Leno's been filling in for me the past few weeks.
Oh, wait, his mic suddenly just cut off. I mean, where'd he go?
That's awesome.
I guess he left. Who knows?
Bring me back. Oh, there we go.
We'll see him again in a month.
We thank Jay for filling in.
Silent Bob is basically who was over there because he wasn't here.
Murdoch's punishing me with the buttons.
We are good. We are glad to have you back, Noah.
It's good to be back.
We have missed you, but Noah's back with us, and who knows how long he'll be back. But I think if it's more than 2 weeks, you're considered a co-host again. You're guest hosting right now. But if you're gone for more than or if you're here for more than 2 weeks, you're officially back as it goes. So we were going to have Daniel Hemrick on. Daniel had to reschedule, so we'll have him on at a later date. So we'll take this first segment, talk about the races at Phoenix, do a little black flag, checkered flag. We'll get some thoughts on the race. We'll start with Peter. What did you think about this weekend's races?
I thought the Xfinity race was surely insane at points, and I thought the Cup race left a lot to be
desired.
Thank you.
There you
Playing
go.
on the word. Left a lot to be desired, especially
I thought the
after
buzzer ran out of batteries.
The buzzer's been hit too many times.
I thought the Cup race left a lot to be desired, especially after the amazing race we saw for the championship there last year, and how incredible the spring race was a year ago with all the different leaders and all the different contenders. I thought it was a bit of a letdown for races this season, but not bad, just okay.
Yeah, compared to the first 4 races of the
Yeah,
season.
it has a hard thing to go up against.
Yep. Tom?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as Peter on that one. I think that the Xfinity race seemed like it was a pretty good race and competitive. The Cup race really it wasn't that it was a bad race, but nothing really happened. It just really was kind of it was almost like somebody who talks monotone and never raises or lowers the voice. Like it just stayed the same all the way through pretty much, I thought. There wasn't really a lot of drama there.
Yeah, that's true. Noah. See, yeah. I'm so used to you not even being here. I just went right back to Peter again.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mentioned it a little earlier to Peter that we've come off of these powerhouse races where we've seen so much at the beginning and then a lot of strategy toward the end, that coming up against those races, there weren't any wow moments like we've had in the past few races. I mean, I can think back to moments in Vegas and in Homestead where I was kind of on the edge of my seat for a moment, but at Phoenix, not so much. And it's not that it was a bad race per se. It's just that it didn't, like we've all said, it didn't really carry the same intensity that we've seen over the past few weeks. But that's going to happen because we got a long schedule and we've been really favored with all the good races.
So what do you think that is? Let me throw that out because we just talked. Peter just mentioned, the championship race was really good last year. Mm-hmm. Do you think this race could be people not wanting to show their hand too much because they know they got to come back here for the championship race? Maybe they're learning, maybe they're putting stuff together, and maybe there's cars out there, like Chase, who, pretty much won that race last year, and he didn't do too much.
Yeah, I was kind of going to say the same thing about maybe the excitement is kind of temporarily worn off. I mean, this was the most recent race of the first 5 races we've had. So we just came off of Phoenix, and we're going back there again. All the first 5 races, we had Daytona 500, we had the Daytona Road Course, we had Las Vegas. We had all these races that were kind of, we haven't seen a lot of in the last year because of COVID. So maybe it was just, we were used to seeing Phoenix, so we just saw it back in November, and it was just a different, kind of environment.
I don't think anybody ever fails to show their hand in race 5. I think it's just more a case of, again, not every race is going to be a gem, and this was just the weak link in the chain so far. And like I said, it wasn't terrible. It just really not much happened, and but it was good for Martin Truex, obviously, because he's in the playoffs race, now. Right? Yeah, he pretty much was happy, and Joey was disappointed that he didn't do things a little differently, but that's normal when you finish second instead of first.
I find it hard to believe that this was Truex's first win at Phoenix. Like that still blows my mind a little bit. That's the one thing he hasn't won it.
That is true when you think about it.
His first win since October of last year?
Like that.
Since last June at Martinsville. He only got the one win last year.
So there were 29 races or 29 races since he's won.
It is weird because we think of Truex and how far he's come to where when he first started going off and winning races back in 16 ish when he was winning a lot of them, we were like, wow, Truex there, Truex here. And then it got to the point where it's like, okay, Truex is winning everywhere. And now we're back to the point where it's like, oh, he hadn't won there yet?
Well, and one of my friends, when we were watching, was like, oh, that's normal. Truex won. That's reasonable. But is it? I mean, he only won one race last year.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't even. It was a short track. So
a couple years ago, he won 5 races that year at Gibbs because I remember every race I watched that year, he won. And I'm like, this is why I don't watch these races.
I'll give you this. Every race that I covered that year, he won except for one. Yeah. Except for one race.
I remember being at the 600 in the media center and then him crossing that line. And just being like, man, can we not get somebody else?
Yeah, no,
that was the year that he won. He led 390 laps or something, right? He dominated that race.
I was like, dude, look, I've covered 5 races this season. You've won all 5 except for one. I guess you're gonna have to start bringing me around, because I'm getting tired of it. No offense, I'm getting tired of interviewing you in the press conference.
Right. So, Checkered Flag and Black Flag. I kind of stole this idea from Jacob, but I didn't see his name listed under patent. Yeah. So I'm going to steal the idea here, and basically we'll start with Peter. We'll do Black Flag first, and then Checkered Flag because I want to do it differently. So your Black Flag, you can pick any driver in any series. You can actually do both if you want to. I actually have one for both series, but Black Flag first. Who do you think did the worst, or what entity was the worst for you this weekend?
I think the driver that did the worst this weekend was Kyle Busch. He was coming off a third-place finish last week at Las Vegas. I really thought the 18 would build momentum from that finish, but he was trapped a lap down for much of the final stage on Sunday and just had that late spin, got into the wall a bit, and just had a terrible race all around and finished 25th. Not what I was expecting from someone who's won at Phoenix this recently.
And being the worst of the Gibbs cars. Tom?
I'm going to give a Black Flag to Josh Berry in the Xfinity Series for...
Watch out now. He's got fingers for you.
For best impression of a 7th grader after he put himself in the wall and then flipped Santino Ferrucci off with both fingers. Or maybe I should give him a Checkered Flag for best impression of a 7th grader and give him an Emmy. I don't know which.
So my Black Flag will go to Noah Gragson, and not necessarily because of Noah Gragson as a person, just because he can't seem to find any good luck these days. From wrecking his car, trying to win the race, and then blowing an engine, 5 or 10 laps into the race this past week. So just bad luck all around for him and that team.
Yeah, my Black Flag goes to the 7th place finisher on Sunday, Kyle Larson. Sorry to say, but all the pit road speeding penalties that we saw, I think there were 2 or 3. 2 penalties, says Peter over there in the corner. Really cost him because he was flying up through the field, and he would have had more of a chance had he not had those 2 issues. I know he came off of a win the week before, but you do got to clean that stuff up. Nevertheless, they were fast, but Black Flag for speeding on pit road twice.
Peter just did the best impression of a peace sign.
Yeah.
Award for that.
My Black Flag,
and he already acts like a 7th grader. So.
My Black Flag will be Cody Ware for calling out Anthony Alfredo on the radio, saying,
"Oh yeah,
Rick Ware built a fast car, and we ran into a wrecked
lapped car."
And I was like, "You ran into Alfredo. Hold your horses."
This is no offense to Rick Ware Racing,
no, but you're not a fast car.
But when a Rick Ware Racing car calls you a lapped car,
yeah. So Cody Ware, get over yourself.
That is true, and I'm actually glad you said something because I didn't even have any idea what happened. I saw when they showed the wreck, whatever. But I'm like, what is the
He was at it straight for him. I don't know what happened.
Just ran him over. It's like,
he wouldn't have made. He would not have made the corner had Anthony not been.
Although to Cody's credit,
in the wall.
Yeah. Alfredo would have to be going pretty slow for Cody to be able to catch him and wreck him. All the
thing is them just saying, "Oh, you built me a fast car and I run into a wrecked lap car." When do you ever hear Rick Ware and fast car in the same sentence?
That also goes to show you how slow their cars have been. If that's the fastest car he's had all year.
And they were the two cars at the back of the pack.
But wasn't he already at least a lap down when that happened?
Cody was on the lead lap.
Oh, he was?
Hanging on at the rear.
That's why he was celebrating.
Anthony had gone a lap down.
It reminds me of Ricky Bobby. I'm going fast.
So technically he did hit a lapped car. He really hit him, but...
All right. Your checkered flag, Peter. Who gets your checkered flag?
I'd have to say Martin Truex Jr. I mean, I know that's not going out on much of a limb, but we saw the 19 be close in so many races towards the end of the regular season last year and throughout the playoffs, but not able to pull off and get into victory lane again after the spring Martinsville win. I felt like he finished third like 8 races in a row last year, so it's good to finally see him get back into victory lane and see James Small get a second win as a crew chief.
So for me, I've got to in the Cup Series, I'm going to go with Alex Bowman because he got wrecked early and still came back and got a top 10 finish. So for a good job for him. And Bailey Curry in the Xfinity Series getting a top 10 finish. That's a good job by the BJ McLeod team. So
well, there you just stole mine. That was what I was going to. Bailey Curry 7th place, and actually let me start up front. Brandon Brown P3. And Bailey Curry P7 got my 2 checkered flags, and Ty Gibbs too for another great drive. But Brandon Brown and Bailey Curry, that's the best finish ever for a Mike Harmon car. Yep. And congratulations to Ryan Bell, who basically put the setup in that car.
Yep.
Yeah, my checker flag, William Byron, 8th place finish, consistent, up in the top 5 all day. That team, ever since Homestead's really been showing up. 3 top 10s in a row.
Bubba Wallace finally able to do something with that car.
Yeah, showed some speed.
16th. So.
I think there's plenty more where that came from, but I mean those are just the highlights of the guys that did the best. And you know it's cool because every week it seems like we're talking about a new group of drivers doing good things. It shows the competitiveness of the season, and I think as we get further into the spring and into the summer months, we're really going to start seeing the competitive edge on all these cars, from Hendricks to Gibbs to even Penske at times, and hopefully RCR and those guys will come back up too. All right, we're going to start our debate back and forth when we come back from break. You're watching or listening to the Inside Pass on WSIC. We will be back in just a moment.
Do you love the sound of high-revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
Victory Custom Trailers is the place to go for your next new or used trailer or coach. Being personally involved in the racing community allows Victory to fully understand what racers need in a trailer. They have over 200 coaches and trailers in stock for a variety of industries, and they can serve anyone in the continental U.S. If you're looking for something custom, they can assist in designing a trailer to fit your needs. Check out their entire inventory online at victorycustomtrailers.com.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
What an awesome game. What's up with your car? I don't know. It won't start. How are we getting home? Chill. My parents signed me up for the roadside assistance from Lewis Meineke. It was free with my oil change. They'd come and get the car started or get us home and tow the car to the shop.
Good to know. With my driving, my parents never know what to expect.
When you join the Meineke Car Care Club with a $35 preferred service, you get 4 free months of roadside assistance, including tire change, battery jump, lockout service, towing, and more. Contact Lewis Meineke, located on Route 1, or call 827-2054.
When do you think of a plumber? Like most people, even if it's an emergency, you can be confident about who will arrived to help you. For quality and reliability, count on someone you can trust. Call on the plumbing services of Hague Quality Water of Maryland. Plumbing doesn't have to be an emergency. We handle all kinds of preventative maintenance too. Hague Quality Water of Maryland is family owned here in Annapolis since 1993. For a refreshing choice, call us at 888-84-WATER or visit us online.
This is Justin Locke, and you're listening to the best guys on the radio, the Inside Pass.
I keep forgetting he wasn't here for any of this.
I was like, is that music?
Nobody heard him, but he went, I was like, what are we?
I heard him say it.
I wasn't expecting it.
It's like apparently that's a very scrumptious re-entry. Welcome back to the Inside Pass.
When you do these shows so much, you get the comeback music so jammed in your head. So I was like, okay, that's different.
We changed it up on you. See if
he's in for a show tonight.
Yeah. Welcome to the Inside Pass, Noah. Glad you can finally be here. Randy Miller, Tom Baker, Peter Strutta, and Murdoch pushing buttons, and then Noah back with us. We got to poke fun of him at least a little bit. We got Peter last week because we said he deserved an Academy Award for his performance in the movie that you produced for school. It's a very good movie. Don't get us wrong.
No, I heard this. I was sitting at dinner.
Short film.
Sitting at dinner last week, re-listening on podcasting platforms to the Inside Pass. And boy, I was cracking up, almost choked on my food because we got to the part about that.
Couldn't resist.
Oh, yes.
So we're all family here.
Hopefully,
did you know you can tell your Alexa device to do that? To play the Inside Pass, and it'll play the most recent episode?
I know. That's the technology we have.
We have an Alexa
in here.
I did not know that.
Alexa can be our friend if we want it to be. We need to try to get you need to try to figure out a way to let me post that on the Inside Pass page so everyone can actually hear it, because everyone's like, what are you talking about? But if they're not friends with you, they wouldn't be able to see it. So anyway, we're going to kick off our 2-round point system. I guess I should let Chris keep score this week instead of me, because it's much easier. Here's a pen. There you go. All right.
No, this is fair for Randy.
Since it's fair for me too, and that way nobody can say you cheat, because I never make myself win. So this time, if I win, it's Chris's fault, nobody else's. So 2 rounds. Chris will do the questions. He'll pick the order because he's the boss when we start this round. So he gets 2 segments of him being the boss of the show, and me just sitting here. So I'm waiting on him to get done writing, so then we can start. Okay, there you go. All right.
I guess we'll go in the order I wrote in. We'll go Randy, Noah, Tom, and Peter.
Okay.
That is the order. Randy.
Yes.
Truex is now the 5th winner in 2021. How long will this streak last?
Well, we're up to 5 right now, so I say at least 6, because I don't think he'll win this weekend at Atlanta, and I don't see any of the previous 5 guys winning. So where do we go next? Bristol Dirt Race? Yeah,
no,
it's not going to happen there either.
We go to Atlanta, and then the Bristol, and then
Martinsville. I say we get to 9 before we end up with a repeat winner.
Wow,
that's my goal. 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
No, I do believe that we'll actually. Wow. Okay.
Retreat.
No, we get our first repeat winner this weekend in Atlanta, and I will share once we pick fantasy who I think that will be.
All right. So we've got a 20% chance of getting it correct.
Well, one of you is lying.
Well, that's true.
So, and I believe it's actually Randy, because I agree with Noah. I think we're going to have a repeat winner in Atlanta. I'll show that later. I don't see how we could get out of Atlanta without a repeat winner, to be honest.
Wouldn't be the first time I've been called a liar. Yeah. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
I think we will see another new winner in Atlanta, and I think Bristol Dirt will be a repeat of the last couple Chili Bowls, Larson versus Bell. Just hopefully one of them doesn't flip at Bristol Dirt.
I almost feel like it's bound to happen at some point.
I just love when me and Tom agree.
It only happens every once in a while.
Right.
I didn't think you had it in you to disagree with Peter.
Well, let's see if you guys are 2
Must
for 2.
be a leap year.
2 for 2, because you guys are going to have to spoil now. Follow up. Who breaks the streak?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I am spoiled.
Now we're doing picks.
Well, Randy, you're first.
But okay.
It's on the sheet.
Randy,
I got to read the sheet.
Randy wrote this. What were you thinking?
What do you mean?
Well, you just got to pick
because we don't do picks till the end of the show.
I did. Well, yeah, but it
maybe wasn't assuming that it'd be Atlanta.
We can move on.
No, it's fine. I mean,
too late now.
Just because,
it
doesn't mean that that's who you're picking Atlanta.
It doesn't mean you're.
It doesn't
I mean, I guess it's true.
When the streak does end, who is going to break it? Not necessarily this weekend.
Well, yeah, but 2 of us said it was going to happen in Atlanta. So now
let's
just do the cup picks.
Okay, well, hold on, because I have to be able to write them down, so I'll have to give the pin back for a second. Okay, all right, well, I guess we'll just do our picks then. We'll just stop the whole show. And
Randy and I are playing.
Well, we'll just do cup then.
Randy and I are playing catch in the studio.
Yes. Yeah. So I say that the streak will end with Larson winning his second race. So I don't know what race that will be, but I think the streak will end when Larson wins the second race. So that's my pick.
But who are you picking
for the where are we at, Atlanta?
Yeah.
I'm picking Chase Elliott because it's his hometown. So it's his hometown.
All right. Well, I too believe that Kyle Larson will be the first repeat winner. I think it will happen this weekend in Atlanta. So there's my Cup pick as well. And yeah, I think that team is kind of riding a streak right now, and they're going to continue it. Tom, do you?
Oh, that's sorry. I forgot I was
forget the order.
So my pick for Atlanta for a repeat winner is not Kyle Larson, though I think that's a reasonable pick. I actually think we're going to see 2 in a row from Martin Truex.
Wow.
Yes.
My Atlanta Cup pick is Kevin Harvick because I think he's led triple-digit laps in 7 of the last 9 Atlanta races, so how can you go against that? But first repeat winner will be Larson on Bristol Dirt.
This is why Peter's last in points. All right, Chris, anyway.
So, Tom stole my pick that I made before we came on air, so I'll pick somebody else. Whoever wins, the person to win Atlanta will be Kyle Busch.
Oh, wow.
That would be... outhouse to penthouse.
And
at
who
that
ends
point.
the streak?
Yeah, who ends the streak? Because that would continue the streak.
Larson
Dirt?
Truex.
Oh.
Truex this week. I mean, if I was picking who would end the streak, I think it's going to end at Atlanta with Truex, but my picks for this week
here's the thing, too.
I pick somebody different than Tom.
Here's what we have to think about, too, is that who are our 2 best or first come-to-mind guys on dirt? That's Bell and Larson. Both of them have won this season already.
True.
But, I don't think it's going to work that way, though. I mean, I'm sure they'll be good, but I don't think just because,
they're good.
big.
Yeah. Because this is a whole different ball.
This is a whole nother
nobody's
curveball.
done this before.
And you got guys like Chase Briscoe who could very easily,
there are some other guys in Cup
so.
that have run dirt in the past. And, again, running a Cup car at Bristol is not going to be running a midget at the Chili Bowl.
Well, speaking of dirt Bristol, we had a surprise this week. Jessica Friesen, right? That's her name. Yep. Jessica Friesen is going to be back, or is going to make her truck debut, driving with her husband at Bristol Dirt.
Stuart.
There's not very many Friesens in the NASCAR garage.
That was a really good segue.
Randy, what are your thoughts?
I think that somebody's going to be filing for divorce on Monday.
Oh, boy.
I'm kidding. They compete against each other. They compete against each other all the time up in the Northeast.
Boy,
so it's not the first time they've ever done it.
I'm not going to give away the score, but Randy just got 3 points for that. That's pretty nice.
This is why he was saving this the whole time, and this is why I want Chris to be
Yes, because I can't give myself points for doing cool things like that. No, it's a really cool thing. I didn't even know she was a race car driver, so that was news to me. But that's really cool, and that's something that we'll be excited to watch. I'm excited to watch those 2 in action.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I don't think we've certainly never had a married couple racing each other in the top 3 series, right?
Elton Sawyer and Patty Moise for the last.
Okay.
I couldn't remember
in the mid-90s.
Which series was this?
It was a Busch series then.
Okay, Busch series.
Yes.
All right. Well, nevertheless, it's a rare occurrence. And
you may not have even been around then.
Yeah, I probably was not. But no, it's very cool to see. I'm excited to see that and see if they work, together. If she's fast as him, I don't know. Stuart's pretty good, but
she drives sprint cars though. You got to have
well, she's got some experience. I mean,
you have to have some
to do on some dirt.
Some fortitude to be able to drive a sprint
Intestinal
car,
fortitude.
Intestinal fortitude, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say something else, but that would not work.
It'll be a fun deal, but to be honest, Stewart's had enough trouble getting through a race without having his wife out there because, what happens if the two of them crash each other? I mean, I guess that's where the divorce happens. I mean...
Stewart's in the doghouse.
It's a different deal on dirt, certainly, and Jessica can't test, though. There's going to be no test time for this. So... I don't think we should.
There will be.
There will be practices.
There will be practice.
Well, yes, but there's no
pre-test
yes, where she can spend a day getting used to the truck.
By herself.
I would just temper expectations. I'm not saying she won't do well, but just temper the expectations.
I'm surprised with Stewart they didn't enter a dirt car into the dirt nats this weekend.
Yeah, I am too, to be honest. I will say this, though, for those who don't know. Jessica, before she was Friesen, was Zemkin. That's her original maiden name. And Jessica actually won a super modified heat at the Oswego Speedway and had several shots at a feature win. So she can drive more than just on the dirt, too. She's a good racer.
I want to be a fly on the wall for that steak dinner.
Peter?
it'll definitely be interesting to see husband and wife compete against each other for what I believe will be the second time in NASCAR National Series history. I wanted to see them line up, whether it's in the heat or in the feature, next to each other on a restart, just to see how tight they race each other into turns 1 and 2 there at Bristol, just to see how tight they are on each other's doors, or if they leave each other room.
Yeah. All right.
Either way, he's in the doghouse, like I said.
Last question for this segment. A lot of Cup regulars are getting truck and Xfinity starts ahead of series debuts at new facilities this year. Does that do any of them surprise you, I guess?
Not really, because any opportunity you have to run these new tracks, and especially if you're not an iRacer, it would be a good opportunity to get some extra time in to a seat. But maybe like Truex running the Kyle Busch truck maybe surprises me a little bit, but they are teammates in the Cup Series, so I guess it doesn't surprise me that much. But other than that, there's not really any huge surprises to me.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised either. If you have the opportunity, why not go take it? These are places, new facilities that we haven't been, and so when you get the seat time and it can translate over to Sunday, go take advantage. Mm-hmm.
I think the coolest thing is COTA, because you had 3 of the guys, Austin Dillon, Kaz Gralla, and I think it was Tyler Reddick, all went in January and ran a Champ Car Series race there, which is an amateur endurance series. I think it was a 6-hour race. And, so again, that was a very different way to get experience. And the series loved having them there, too, and so they were very gracious to everybody. So that's a cool deal.
I'm pretty surprised by Harvick making Xfinity and truck starts, because ahead of the Roval, their inaugural race back in 2018, Harvick said he would not have wanted to run the Xfinity race there for added seat time. So his change of mind in, 3 years, that surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. But again, these new series coming up on the circuit, I think it scares a lot of people, especially Cup guys, because there's a lot riding on those on these new tracks, and them wanting to get a win to get into the playoffs. And so all these new tracks we're going to is kind of scary for some of these guys who, don't have the experience on dirt, or don't have a lot of road course experience, or, just want to get the seat time in to see what the track is like. So, especially in an era where we don't have practice and qualifying on a lot of the tracks, although we will have it on those tracks, it sure will make a difference. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with round number 2 on the other side of the break. You are watching, or actually listening to the Inside Pass. I'll get it right one of these days. We'll be back in just a minute.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper cars, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff, or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right. It's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Victory Custom Trailers is the place to go for your next new or used trailer or coach. Being personally involved in the racing community allows Victory to fully understand what racers need in a trailer. They have over 200 coaches and trailers in stock for a variety of industries, and they can serve anyone in the continental U.S. If you're looking for something custom, they can assist in designing a trailer to fit your needs. Check out their entire inventory online at victorcustomtrailers.com.
He wanted to be known for doing his best.
Sure, right.
His best made him Major League Baseball's most valuable player.
Strike two.
He played in 6 World Series and was elected to the Hall of Fame. Although an honest man, he was best at stealing home. But the best quality of Jackie Robinson's life was his character. So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Thanks for passing it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
I'm Matt DiBenedetto, the brutally honest NASCAR driver, and you're listening to the Inside Pass.
Welcome back to the Inside Pass. WSIC, Randy Miller, Tom Baker, Peter Strada, Chris Murdoch, and Noah Lewis sitting around talking about racing because that's what we do best. A lot of good shows coming up in the next several weeks. As I mentioned, Hembrick not here tonight. We're going to get him rescheduled next week. We've got Chris Rice, who's going to come on and join us, and I'm excited about that because colleague is doing decent right now. So, always in a happy mood. He'll put us all in a good mood for the whole week. And then Nick DeGroot at the end of March, and then our April shows include John Hunter Nemechek. And a guest that I'm intrigued by, Tom may know something about sprint cars on ice. Not sure if he does or not, but it's from the Northeast area. But a guy by the name of Nick Berry is a promoter for one of those series up there that run sprint cars on ice. And I thought it was a super unique idea. They did a story about it on Speed Sport. So I reached out to him, and he's going to come on and talk about that series because I think it's super cool, sprint cars racing on ice.
That's cool. That's a great get for us. And I know a little about it. Nick has a son, Caden, who runs those, and
he runs some too.
Yeah, and he runs. And Nick got the idea because it was kind of like, well, gosh, we go the whole winter and nothing's going on, right? Mm-hmm. So why don't we, if we can do snowmobile racing and do whatever, it's kind of like, what if we adapted this and it's taken off like gangbusters. He's got a group in the Midwest that he's talking to about franchising the brand more or less already. So this could be, now of course you can't do that in Hawaii or California, but unless you go way up in the mountains, California, but you can do it in the cold weather states, and this may be one of the next big things to come along because I guess people are just eating it up there.
Yep. So I'm intrigued by that. So he'll be on April 5th to talk about sprint on ice, which is really cool.
That's great.
All right, round number 2.
All right, we're transitioning to fill in the blank. So we will start off, Randy again. We are on track to finish the regular season with at least one winning driver from 2020 not winning a race in 2021. That driver is likely to be...
as bad as I hate to say it right now, I'm going to go with Kyle Busch. I don't know that Kyle's going to win a race this year. He came close to not winning one last year. So I think this will be the year that he does not win a race.
Don't tell Murdoch that. I think he picked Kyle for this weekend.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, too late now to not tell him. He's sitting there listening to the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Something you haven't done for the past month.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I would pick Cole Custer because Cole kind of got that win last season, and he did really well to get it. I mean, it's not that he didn't race his way for it, but I think the Stewart-Haas as a program is really off right now. I hope that they can find their way back, but when you see even Harvick off, you know that there's a bit of a red flag at Stewart-Haas Racing because when Harvick last weekend was the highest Stewart-Haas finisher in 20th, then that's a scary situation over there at SHR.
I have a feeling that we're not going to see Austin Dillon win a race this year. And I know that seems counterintuitive because Austin, is a driver that you'd think because they're progressing would be more likely to win this year than he has even in the past because the team's overall getting better. But again, we got some new guys like Kyle Larson in the field now. And I just have a feeling that Austin's going to get frozen out this year, although I hope I'm wrong because I like RCR and I'd like to see him have a big year.
Yeah, Austin's one win a year ago at Texas was very circumstantial. It was on an alternate strategy, and with that package at Texas, passing was next to impossible. So he was just able to hold clean air, hold the track position for the last however many, I think 30-something laps.
Yep.
I think the one winner from 2020 who will not see victory lane in 2021 is Kurt Busch. We've seen him only get 2 top 10 so far this season at the Daytona Road Course in Homestead. He finished 15th yesterday. I think Ganassi's off. Noah said how Stuart Haas is off. I think Ganassi's even further off. And with the Hendrick ECR aligned engines, I thought all Chevrolet teams would be better this year, but so far only Hendrick's really stepped up their program this year. So I think both Ganassi cars will stay shut out of victory lane.
All right. Moving on. The junior motorsports driver most likely to turn their season around is...
I'm gonna go with Allgaier. I was gonna be a smart aleck and say Sam Mayer because I don't think anybody's gonna do anything until Mayer gets in the car. But that would be turning their season around. He hasn't started yet, so I'll go with Allgaier. I mean, I think you can make a case for both him or Noah, but Noah can't seem to get out of anybody's way or show up for a show. So I'm just gonna go with Allgaier. He showed some consistently good things. At Phoenix this past week. So I'll get there eventually. Give me time. It's a long word. But I think eventually he will get that win.
Yeah, I'm thinking Noah Gragson. I think it's only a matter of time till they can put together a full race without incident or without being a victim of incident. So I'm going to say Noah Gragson. That team is typically pretty quick and pretty consistent. And I think once they finally get back on that train of runs, they'll be the one to turn it around.
Not only will Noah Gragson be the first to turn it around for junior motorsports, but Noah Gragson at the end of the year will have more wins than all the rest of the junior motorsports cars. Noah is getting very, very frustrated, and I think once he gets a win, I think he's going to go on a run. I'm not saying in a row necessarily, but I could still see 3 to 4 wins out of Noah Gragson this year.
I'll agree with two of you and say Noah Gragson. He's Ricky Bobby in real life. He wins or wrecks trying to win. And I think the Murphys...
I hope not. I don't want to see the underwear thing happen.
Yeah, hopefully not that. But the Murphys...
He would be most likely to do that.
Yeah, me Oprah Winfrey. I'm on fire.
Unfortunately, I could actually see that happening, which is strange. And now I'm going to have to burn my eyes now.
I can see Ricky Bobby puking after winning, too.
That's true.
Yeah. But I think eventually the Murphy's Law stretch of luck that Noah's had, bad luck that Noah's had, will run out, and I think the 9 will put together more consistent top 5, top 10 runs and get a couple wins ahead of the playoffs.
We have officially come full circle with Phoenix being the last race before the pandemic hit last year. The grade you'd give NASCAR 1 year later would be a...
I'm going to say an A+. And I say that not based on all the other sports, but just if you look at what NASCAR has done in terms of having to shut down, coming back, 7 weeks later, and being able to put protocols in place to get drivers where they need to be, and not have a huge outbreak of COVID, and being able to put on amazing races and doing different things with the schedule, and just trying to find a way to plug in all these races at the end of the season to make sure that everybody ends up with the right number of races and we were able to crown a champion at the right time. I think NASCAR did everything that they needed to do and did it correctly enough to where we can come into this year knowing we've got fans in the stands in every race so far this year, and that's exciting.
I'm going to say a B-. And that being said, I commend NASCAR for everything.
First. Hold on.
Yeah,
Russian judge.
I commend everything that's happened, what they did to get us back on track and everything like that. But I feel like now we're at a place where we should at least have qualifying. If not a happy hour, at least qualifying. And I think that with the preparation that the guys have to do in the garage before it's rolled to the tech and eventually to the grid anyway, they could come in a qualifying format, qualify the car, switch it over, and roll it out just as safe. And we have other series. I know we can compare and contrast all day long the differences in safety with the NASCAR garage, but I do think that we could have qualifying, and I think that would solve a lot of issues that some teams are having breaking in and getting into the car. We know, Jordan Anderson wanted to be in Xfinity cars this season, and he's still not. He's got to wait till the next qualifying session. So I think we could do that. So I'm going to say a B- overall for the start of this season. A+ for getting us back on track, of course, but that's where I stand.
Remind me never to take a class from you, Professor Noah. Wow. You're like the Russian judge at the Winter Olympics, for crying out loud. No, they get an A for crying out loud. NASCAR, look, they were the first sport to come back after the pandemic. Number one, after it started. They also gave us a brilliant run of iRacing, and along with, and again, I'm including NASCAR and all the networks and everybody involved in this process when I grade this. They made it happen and made it fun and made it entertaining, brought us back first, and they made it okay. We had very few cases of COVID in the garage for all last year, and I do agree with Noah that we should be qualifying now, but I'm not going to drop them a grade and a half for that. They get an A for the last year.
All right, I'll take away my minus.
We
I'll
can
take
work
B.
on this year, but NASCAR definitely gets an A. I think they've done a great job.
I echo a lot of Noah's sentiments, but I won't be as harsh as he was. I'll say an A- because I also agree that at this point, I think we should have qualifying for every race, because the premier series for stock car racing in America should not still be showing up with so many unknowns on race day and just dropping the green flag. Teams need to at least have a couple laps to shake down the car and make sure all the screws are tightened.
Do we really need qualifying, though? I mean, as if the race has been exciting without qualifying.
See, here's the dilemma, though. We need a way for teams like Jordan Anderson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with that.
Whether that be an open car type qualifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I would prefer to see a whole rundown of bring what you got.
For those who aren't clear on this, the stumbling point is NASCAR uses owner points when there's no qualifying. So Jordan Anderson with his new Xfinity car doesn't have any owner's points because he failed. He wasn't able to try to qualify for the Daytona race because the qualifying got rained out. Mm-hmm. So NASCAR needs, I think, to find a way to let those cars have a shot at qualifying. I don't think we need 4 hours of practice. I don't think but we've got to make sure those guys get a chance.
It's going to hurt them if not, because teams like that aren't going to take shots in the dark on not knowing if they can run a team. They've got a whole team and car ready to go, and then I can't run it? Yeah. No.
Well, I mean, you could always do, have a practice session and then line them up, based on practice speeds. You could even do what IMCA does and do it by point average if you really wanted to do it, some sort of way where it's more fair.
If they can figure out a system to do it where they get a chance at it, then that would bring my B. I took away my minus. Well, that would bring my B up.
So, in the dirt world, in IMCA, if you miss 2 weeks of racing, then your point average drops to 0, and you start on the front row of whenever you come back racing at an IMCA track. That's the way that they do their point average there. So, a guy like Jordan Anderson, if he misses a 500, he would still have an opportunity to start on the front row the following week if he decided to go, and run the next race if they did it by point average. But I guess it just, all in.
I understand why you made him lose his girlfriend now in that film. You're a meanie. Goodness.
and something tells me people will never get it back. Even in the sequel, there will never be another get back. All right, we are going to take a break. We're going to ponder a question for the panel when we come back. An interesting question that I want to know the answer to. We'll be back more than this past just in a minute.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff, or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette, it's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
He wanted to be known for doing his best.
Sure, right.
His best made him Major League Baseball's most valuable player.
Strike two.
He played in 6 World Series and was elected to the Hall of Fame. Although an honest man, he was best at stealing home. But the best quality of Jackie Robinson's life was his character. So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Thanks for passing it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
When Marlon Shirley was 5 years old, he was in an accident and lost his foot, but he didn't lose his heart.
When you tackle a challenge that you just cannot even fathom tackling, when you accomplish that, the amount of integrity and the will and the heart that you'll get from that experience is what will set you up for your life.
In less time than it took Marlon Shirley to say that, he can now run 100 meters because today he's the world's fastest amputee. Overcome it. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Well, Michael, when you're not making it work on the outside, make sure you listen to the inside pass.
I like that. Remember then? That's why I even still understand that, but whatever.
I like that, though.
That's
a cool little comeback.
Yeah.
Baker's ball. Final segment.
Matt DiBenedetto's is cool too. He's the brutally honest NASCAR driver. I told that story last week too. Chris, let me see your pen for a second. I got to do the fantasy stuff in a second.
Throw it again.
Welcome back to the Inside Pass. If you missed any part of our show, you can catch it on demand on any of your favorite podcasting websites anywhere. And apparently, you can also ask Alexa to play it for you because we have technology now, and that's exciting stuff.
Just say, Alexa, play the most recent episode of the Inside Pass.
Chris, who won?
All right, so Randy came in first with 10 because of the divorce comment.
Because of the divorce comment.
Rigged.
Noah came in second with 8
never
points.
Mind. We're good.
And Tom and Peter tied with 7. So I've got a tiebreaker question that we'll have these two people go through.
Ooh.
And
this is for third.
And we'll pick
for a podium finish.
And we'll
Peter.
you guys can get an after they answer. We'll go Tom and then Peter. Ty Gibbs has had some success in his first 2 starts with a win at Daytona Road Course and then a second at Phoenix. Does this shock you, and will he keep it up?
The initial win shocked me because Ty's not known necessarily to be a great road course racer. It does not surprise me that he's having success on the shorter ovals. And yes, I think Ty wins maybe 2 more, if not 3 more races in 2021. I'm not sure how many starts he has, but he almost won again yesterday.
He did almost win again on Saturday against Hendrick. I think another lap or 2, there would have been contact between them, and then who knows what could have happened from there. I think based on the races he does run the rest of the season, a lot more road courses, I think he will win 1, maybe 2 more races. I'm circling Mid-Ohio later this year, I think in June for him.
I will also say this. His post-win interview last week was a complete 180 from the one he did at Daytona, and I liked that post-win interview. All credit and glory to God, and really was humble. That kid has no idea how many lives he can positively impact if he keeps that up. So I hope he does.
Yeah, we definitely need that in the garage area.
Yes.
Tom third, Peter fourth.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, so I'm going to ponder this question, then we'll talk about fantasy, and then we'll let the boys debate. So
there you go.
The question is, if you were a superstar driver, it can be any series from F1 to dirt, would you rather, A, be average but a local hero, B, win all the major races but never win a championship, or C, win multiple races with many top-level teams and still not win a championship, or D, break the record for most top 5s and most top 10s but never win a race or be a champion? So 4 options.
Can I go first?
Yeah. I'm going to do fantasy first while these guys ponder the question. Okay. So fantasy update. Nick correctly, picked Austin Cindric.
My computer career moment.
And he got second for Logano, so he's now first place this week with 510 points. Noah has jumped to second with 487. Tom is third with 426. Jacob is fourth. Seth is fifth. I am sixth. Peter is seventh, and Chris just took over for Red. So it's going to take him a little while to catch up, but we have all 3 series running this weekend at Atlanta. We already made our Cup picks, so now we'll do trucks and Xfinity, and we'll start with Noah. There you are, over there. Yes. See, I'm still not used to you being over here, so yes. Nice to meet you.
I was over your shoulder reading the selections.
I'll let you have it in a second.
What are we doing? Truck and
truck and Xfinity.
Oh wait. Oh gosh.
And Kyle is in the truck this weekend.
Yes. Okay. So Peter.
Kyle for the trucks. Thank you, Peter.
Okay.
And then Xfinity, I will pick Austin Cindric because I didn't last time and I lost the lead.
So he won't win this week. All right, Peter, go trucks and Xfinity.
Trucks, I'll go John Hunter, and Xfinity, I will go with Martin Truex in that 54. I think he keeps the winning ways alive.
All right, Tom, trucks, Xfinity.
Kyle Busch is going to win the truck race. And for the Xfinity race, I mean, it's Atlanta. I think I'll just kind of play the odds here, and I will go with Brandon Jones.
Again, outhouse to penthouse, because he wrecked last week. All right, Chris, trucks, Xfinity.
Sheldon Creed.
Okay.
And Harrison Burton.
Oh, that's a good pick. I'm actually gonna agree with you on trucks and pick Creed too, because I feel like Creed is gonna win. For Xfinity, I'm gonna pick AJ Allmendinger because he won last year at Atlanta, so he's gonna defend the championship. All right, so question one more time, and then we'll get everybody's answers. We'll start with Peter. Would you rather A, be an average driver but a local hero, B, win all the major races but never win a championship, C, win multiple races with many top-level teams but never win a championship, or D, break the record for most top 5s and most top 10s but never win a race or win a championship?
I got to go option B, because we've seen Mark Martin is still a Hall of Famer, still regarded as a top 20, if not higher, all-time great driver, and I think Denny Hamlin, if he does not win a title, will be mentioned in the same breath, and both of them have won a lot of races, so I'd go give me a lot of wins but no title.
All right, Tom.
Funny thing is you have no option there for winning a championship.
No.
I don't know if you planned it that
way.
No,
I did plan it that way.
Okay.
As if you had never won a championship, but you won one of the other 4 options.
I mean, obviously, to me, there's only one answer, and that's B. You want to win all the big races. Now, Mark Martin did not win the Daytona 500, by the way. But you'd want to win all the majors, if not a championship. So I would say I'd much rather be a driver like Buddy Baker, than somebody who won a bunch of local stuff or won a bunch of races and never a title. Buddy never ran for a title, but 1 year. And so, I'd much rather win all the majors.
No.
Yeah, Martin came pretty dang close, but that only
sure
works
did.
in horseshoes, right?
And hand grenades.
Hand grenades
Kevin Harvick.
Yes. Okay, so you guys went B. I was also going to go with B, but I'm going to go C. And I'm going to say C because of the impact. I like guys like Kurt Busch that have gone around the garage and made impact and made their names at different teams and shown that they can go to different teams and still compete successfully. So for that reason, I'm gonna jump off the B bandwagon and I'm gonna say C.
When I pose this question, I can actually, and Chris, I'll get your thoughts in a second. When I posed this question, I thought, I can probably think of a driver in each of these options, even on the Cup garage. But he comes to mind. But for some reason, and I know, I guess it depends on how popular you seem like you want to be. But to me, even A doesn't seem like a bad idea because you could be a local hero. Like you could be somebody who stays at your local track and wins a lot of races and even wins. I guess you could even win championships because technically it doesn't say you can't. But you're a local hero to everybody around you. So you're like the Dale Earnhardt Jr. of your track, your local home track, and you're a hometown name, and everybody loves you, and everybody buys your merchandise. You can make a lot of money just being a local hero. You don't have to be nationally popularity. Yeah, and have a lot of fun in the process.
So you're an A guy?
I could see myself, not now, but 20 years ago being that guy. Chris,
started out to be.
I mean, I'm going to go A. I mean, for all the reasons you stated, but I mean, to be able to run your own schedule, would be something, and the impact you can have on the lives of fans would be another one, and I get a championship. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, it may not have mean much to everybody else, but to you, you're an everyday local hero. So, I mean, why wouldn't you want to?
And still, some of those local heroes, like, you got your Bubba Pollards and stuff who run the gamut of all those local tracks that are big on those. You still got a name out there.
Yeah.
People know who you are.
Did you talk about Nick leading fantasy?
No, because he's not leading them.
This is.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, Nick leading fantasy.
He won't be by the time the show
goes
goes up.
Unfair.
Yeah, that's why we're not talking about him. He'll be on in 2 weeks. He'll have enough bragging to do. All right, we thank you guys so much for joining us next week. Chris Rice will be here. And, guys, stay tuned for Lead Lap coming up next. You guys have a great week. Enjoy the Atlanta weekend.
I'll be here.
Let's hope so. We'll see you guys next week on the Inside Pass. Everybody, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you next week.